This is 5 on your side at noon. Focused on you.
St. Louis is celebrating Labor Day. The federal holiday is rooted in the late 19th century when labor activists pushed for a federal holiday to recognize the many contributions workers have to America's strength and prosperity. Today we celebrate with cookouts and parades like the one you're seeing now on your screen over in Belleville. The city's Labor Day parade marched through the circle this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mercedes McKay. Kay Quinn has the day off. The holiday is also considered the unofficial end of summer. So many city pools will be closing after today, but that doesn't mean the summer heat ends. Meteorologist Gary Frank is here with the weather alert forecast.
Yeah, as we continue to look at temperatures here over the last few days, for the most part, though, we've seen the way we've started out this morning is what we would expect the last few days. 80s, 70s, it's muggy, it's warm, but, we've started a trend as that front moved through into some cooler mornings. Now, it's supposed to be around 66 degrees, and we were pretty close right on the number yesterday. Much cooler than that today. In fact, as we've started out cooler, we're going to continue to see temperatures in the mid-70s here right now. It's very pleasant. There's hardly a cloud in the sky. That trend continues here as we have temperatures in the mid-70s with hardly a cloud in the sky. And into the rest of the afternoon, there should be no problems. We're headed for the low 80s. It's relatively nice, not a cloud in the sky. I mean, this is a picture-perfect day because it's still warm enough where you can enjoy. But here over the next few days and the week ahead, I still think it's dry and less humid. Those are our main headlines that we'll hold on to. These cooler mornings, believe it or not, it's even cooler than it was this morning in many cases, which will show some of the local lows here shortly, but it's even cooler next weekend from top to bottom in the afternoon and the morning. So we'll talk about that, and there is one day where I think it's going to get a little bit more humid and warm, and we'll talk about that and how it relates to our rain chances as well.
All right, thanks so much, Gary. We're following a developing story over in the Metro East. Police are saying very little about a deadly crash south of Columbia. It happened yesterday afternoon on Hanover Road, right off of Route 3. Illinois State Police say one person died on the scene. Another person was airlifted to a hospital with life-threatening injuries, and 2 others suffered less severe injuries. No names or ages are being released at this time. We have a crew in Columbia following this story. We'll have much more on 5 on your side at 5 tonight. Also in the Metro East, a person is dead after being hit by a vehicle. Illinois State Police responded to the scene at Route 3 and Piazza Lane in Hartford overnight. Troopers say the driver remained on the scene. No names are being released. Right now, a woman is recovering after being hit by a vehicle in North St. Louis. This incident happened at Herbert and Grand overnight. Police say the driver remained on the scene. We're told a man was walking with the woman at the time, but he was not hurt. And violence in downtown St. Louis over the weekend. Shootings on Washington Avenue left 5 people injured. This was the scene early yesterday over on 19th Street. A woman was shot in the leg and 4 other people were hit by bullet fragments. Everyone is expected to recover. Also over the weekend, a large fight forced police to shut down the Midwest Wing Fest earlier than expected. Police in Fairview Heights say a large group of juveniles began fighting Saturday night. Officers had to call in other departments. They ended up arresting 2 people. The Midwest Wing Fest is held every year outside the St. Clair Square. Organizers tell us it draws more than 25,000 people. Well, right now, it's been more than a year since texting while driving became illegal here in the state of Missouri. Police tell us the state's seen an 8% drop in distracted driving phone use on the roads since that law took effect. Now, this is welcome news for those who pushed for the law to pass, especially for families who've lost loved ones.
If I can save one family from walking through what my kids and I have had to walk through, it's totally worth it.
Using tragedy to change history.
You can raise yourself to be a victim, or you can be a victor where tough things happen in life, but it all depends on how you want to overcome.
Those are the 2 options Stephanie Benning gave her kids when their dad was suddenly taken away from them on May 13th, 2021.
Him and my daughter were heading down to the lake when the accident occurred.
A driver, distracted by her phone, hit and killed Mike Benning as he was picking up something on a Missouri interstate.
She called me and said, "Hey, Mom, something's happened to Dad. Can you get here?"
It wasn't until the day her life changed forever that Stephanie learned Missouri was just one of 2 states without a law banning texting and driving.
I would not wish it on anyone, and that is one of the reasons why I wanted to get out there and make our story known to legislator to get things changed in Missouri.
And that's exactly what this widow did. sharing her testimony to help get the Siddons-Benning hands-free law passed on August 28, 2023.
Traffic crashes are preventable, traffic deaths are preventable, and this is one way to make sure people get the right message that it's, not okay to have your phone in your hand when you're behind the wheel.
Nick Chabaria with AAA says people are getting that message. Since the law's passage, distracted driving phone use dropped 8%.
They estimate that's prevented more than 450 crashes, 2 fatalities, which is, incredible. But we'd of course like to see it drop even more.
While the work is never ending.
The hands-free law was very much needed here in the state of Missouri. Now it's about getting people to recognize the law and understand the law.
Stephanie is grateful her husband's life was not in vain.
I'm very thankful for the traction that we've had this year and to know that there are lives that have been impacted. They're getting to see their loved ones at the end of the day.
Right now, police can still only give out warnings at this time. Ticketing actually starts on January 1st. Once penalties do begin, fines will start at $150, but can go up for repeat offenders to $500. The downtown Wainwright State Office building has a new owner. According to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal, an unidentified buyer purchased the downtown building for $8.4 million. State officials announced in July that they are moving 400 employees out of the building to a new office in Chesterfield. Vice President Kamala Harris will use a campaign appearance in Pittsburgh to publicly state U.S. Steel should remain domestically owned. Now, the company operates the steel plant over in Granite City. Her announcement coincides with the White House's earlier opposition to the planned sale to Nippon of Japan. Right now, the Biden administration is reviewing the proposed deal. Still ahead, the Israeli public turning on its government, the protests happening on the streets, and how the courts are keeping them from causing economic damage. Plus, a young NFL star shot during an attempted robbery. What we know about the incident that left 2 people injured.